Welcome to Startup Q&A and BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. We're doing this joint podcast, video podcast, because it's something that we both work on a lot. And that is how to make your Instagram feed really special and really pop. So first of all, we'll start with how to take a great photo for Instagram, which is what Bry knows all about.
So I actually have two Instagram feeds because I have a hard time. I want the feeds to have a consistent look. And what I don't want is people to get mixed up with stuff I take with my iPhone compared to stuff that's professional. Mm-hmm. And people would say, man, your stuff's so good, but they're only seeing my iPhone stuff. So I was like, no, I need very something specific. I need my professional work and my iPhone work.
And if you mix those together, they look weird.
Then it looks weird. It's like there's not a consistent theme. And they go, oh, either he's hit and miss, he's really good or really awful, depending on the day.
And why are pictures of food in with his portraits?
Yeah, he sure eats a lot. Wants us to know. No. So, and my iPhone is very rarely me somewhere or a picture of me doing something. It's typically an abstract of a close-up of something, like looking out the wing as I'm flying to a gig somewhere, something like that, of a plane. Where my professional stuff is all whatever I'm excited about this week. Maybe it's a family portrait, maybe it's a model, maybe it's a wedding or something like that. And I'm just trying to post something a couple times a day actually on that.
Okay, so when you're just taking it with your iPhone on that specific account,
yeah,
how do you make sure that it's a great photo, worthy of posting on Instagram?
Part of it comes into having a photo background. I'm always thinking of lighting. I'm always thinking of, even though on a phone I can't control f-stop, shutter, ISO, I'm still thinking, if I can't control that, then how can I angle this in such a way where I will get the results I want? So I'm kind of thinking around the technology.
Okay.
And I know it's probably, people are like, I don't want to think about that. And then I'm not thinking of shooting it for anybody other than, do I like it? And my iPhone feed is specifically, do I like it?
Okay.
And I just go, this tells the story of where I'm at in an interesting way, where I think me and a few, like 5 of my really super artistic friends are going to get it, and maybe everybody else will like it too, but I'm really just kind of hoping like those 5 people will get it.
Yeah, I think you've hit on a couple of important themes. One is have a theme for your feed. If it's your personal feed, keep it personal. If it's your business feed, keep it professional. Secondly is have the same style of photos.
Yeah.
On your personal feed, it's your personal stuff, but there's still the same similar lighting, the same kind of theme.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have a artistic picture out the window of your airplane, like with close up of the drops, which is, you have some cool stuff there.
Yeah.
But you don't have like the next feed or the next picture is not a picture of your cat.
Right.
Which you don't have a cat.
Yeah.
But
which is why
it's still the same type of thing. It's the same thing, and then the same theme. And then your business feed is your business stuff.
Yeah, and on that one, I'm not necessarily posting pictures that I think that I know I love. I mean, they tend to be pictures that people have ordered. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of posting pictures that I hope my clients will look at and go, oh, maybe we need a new family portrait, and I really like how great their family looks.
Yeah.
Or maybe we need some new senior portraits, or whatever it is. I'm just trying to and that I'm posting hoping that people like it, which is a different mentality. There are two different goals.
Right, because it's like an online portfolio.
Yeah.
And if you're an e-commerce business, it's the same thing. You want to make sure that your images are professional and they're not overly salesy. So, for example, if you're selling clothes, then have a photo shoot done or do it yourself of a model showing off the clothes, or they're outside showing off the clothes. Don't just take a picture of the clothes and then at the bottom say these are for sale, because that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Look through magazines and see how they're posing the clothes, not catalogs, because Instagram is not like a catalog. You're not just showing all your inventory
right
of what's available. It's more like a fashion shoot, or it's more like the kind of signs you'll see outside of a store like H&M. Those are the kind of things you want to display your product. So make sure that all of your images are themed, and then that they're similar, that they're high quality. So if you're not a photographer like Bry, then either hire somebody or go get some iStock photo, some really professional stuff.
Oh yeah, you can always buy stock photos for cheap.
Get stock photos or learn how to take really good photos. one problem is consistency. If you kind of mix those all in, if you're not a good photographer and then you put that next to iStock photo or you put it next to professional, then your whole feed kind of looks discombobulated because one is really good and then one's not, and then it doesn't look consistent. So make sure that your feed is consistent in theme and in colors and in your branding, that it supports your brand. It supports what it is, the message you're trying to portray through its colors and through the fonts. So if you're writing text over the pictures, make sure it's all the same font, that it's not something different every time, because when you put those all together, they're going to look a little bit messy.
And then I actually know somebody who goes through, and I've only done this a few times, but they will go through and delete anything off their feed that doesn't constantly match their look. Mm-hmm. They kind of consider it like a portfolio. Like if you get a new follower, they're going to go back and look through your other stuff. So maybe they have a sale and they've got a little picture that says sale today or whatever. A week later, they may go back and delete that.
Yeah, that's totally okay.
And delete other things that doesn't match, so that what's on their Instagram feed is always the best of the best. And it's not just, so for me on my iPhone stuff, it's just everything. I don't go back and delete anything. Mm-hmm. But maybe on the portfolio side, I might look at that a little more carefully and go, it's not Christmas anymore. And this was promoting maybe a Christmas special. Do I actually need this on my Instagram feed? No, delete.
Right, because usually a post will direct somebody back to the link, because you only get one link.
Yeah.
So if each post, like you've got a product and you're saying, go check this out in the link, or check out our video or whatever, the link is always changing. So if there's something very outdated, then either change the text or get rid of the picture entirely. Yeah.
And then one thing, if you're hiring somebody, this might make some photographers feel bad, and I don't mean it in any way, but avoid photographers who say that they are lifestyle photographers or natural light photographers, because on a high-end shoot, like let's say like Disney, or even like Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, or there's like a lot of companies that say, look, if you want to work for us, you have to know lighting. You can't, if your form of lighting is natural light, you can't work or represent us in any way.
Really?
Yeah. Because typically it used to mean that you actually know lighting pretty good and you can use natural light or strobes, whatever. Mm-hmm. But really, if you're hiring a photographer, you want to hire somebody who actually understands lighting and isn't just go, my job is to just use light naturally. What's going to happen is you're going to get blue images that are blurry, out of focus eyes, out of focus faces, and it doesn't make your brand look good. I was just at the mall yesterday returning some pants, and I noticed this big banner from a local company selling clothes, a little local boutique. Out of focus, blurry, natural light.
Oh, really?
And they made a banner of it, and it makes them look cheap. It makes them look like they can't afford a good photographer.
And I think for people like me that don't really know photography, we might not look at something like that and think, well, here's the problem. They didn't use natural light. But you look at it and either consciously or subconsciously, you look at it and think, that's cheap.
You go, that's cheap.
But you don't know why. You'll just know that's cheap. And
I know the model. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I know that model.
Uh-huh.
She looks awful.
She's not out of focus in real life.
She doesn't walk around out of focus. Yeah.
But it's the same with an Instagram feed. If you look at an Instagram feed, you'll know whether it's congruent or not, if it's supporting the theme. Yeah. You might not be able to pick out like all the
And it's hard to tell if they're in focus on a phone because the pictures are this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if you want to know if your feed is really good, is go look at some that are very popular and look at the elements that they have, the kind of photography that they have. And I would get away from the kind of accounts that are really popular now that all they do is post inspirational quotes, which is good for driving traffic because people are driving visits and likes, or just likes actually, because people like that and they click on it and like. But if you've got a whole post, a whole feed of just inspirational posts, that doesn't support your brand. It doesn't promote your story. It doesn't tell who you are, what your company does. You're getting a lot of likes maybe, but it doesn't do anything for you beyond that. So mix it up. Have a quote once in a while, but then have a lot of different other things. So your feed altogether tells the story of either you or the brand of your company or both.
Great. Good tips.
Okay, I think we're done. So if you've got any questions or comments about how to create great photography for your Instagram feed,
my website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCox Workshops.com.
And if you want any training about how to get more followers, get more engagement, do more with social and on your website, then come over to invinciblestartup.com.
All right, until next time, America.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.